Hello students, today I have again come in front of you with the videography of another chapter. So today we are going to discuss chapter 7 of class 11. So what is chapter 7? The name of chapter 7 is Test, Measurement and Evaluation in Sports. So students, we will be discussing this chapter into two parts, okay, part 1 and part 2. So here I am starting with part 1. So what I have done, I will be dividing the total content into two halves. In the first part, I will be discussing the first 3 topics, and in the second half or the second part, I will be discussing the remaining 2 topics. So what are all the contents that we are going to discuss under this chapter? So first we are going to discuss the definitions of test, measurement and evaluation. Followed by that we will be also discussing the importance of test, measurement and evaluation in games and sports. Followed by that, the third part is we will come to know the calculation of, that means how to calculate body mass index and waist hip ratio. So these 3 things that we will be discussing in the first part. In the second part we will be discussing the somatotypes, that is various body types, and the measurement of health related fitness. So these is the curriculum. We are moving ahead. So starting the first part, that is the first thing that comes in our mind is what is test. So students, you must have been experiencing that after the end of each chapter you are undergoing class tests. So what is the purpose, what is the objective of class test? Just to check, to assess how much learning has went into. The teachers are making you understand the chapter. Now with the help of class test, the teachers are able to assess the understanding level of several children. So test can be assessed as a tool. Test may be called as a tool, a question, a set of questions, an examination which used to measure a particular characteristics of an individual or a group of individuals. It is something which provides information regarding individuals' ability, knowledge, performance as well as achievement. Moving ahead students. Now, Barrow was a famous researcher. So according to Barrow, a test is a specific tool or a procedure of or a technique used to obtain response from students in order to gain information which provides the basis to make judgment or evaluation regarding some characteristics such as fitness, skills, knowledge and values. Next we are going to discuss the nature of test. What is the nature? What are all the nature of test? So the test have to be reliable. The test have to be also valid. It is objective. Test is always objective. should not be expensive. Test should be less time consuming, as well as it must produce result. Test must produce result and its implementations. So after test, we move on to the another term, that is measurement. So measurement is the collection of information on which a decision is based. It is the collection of information in numerical form. It is the record of performance or the information which is required to make judgment. Next comes nature of measurement. So measurement should be quantitative in nature. It must be precise and accurate. It must be reliable. It must be objective in nature. Next, students, now measurement should be provable. Okay, so I have used each alphabet of provable as acronyms, like P stands for precise, R stands for reliable, O stands for objective, V stands for valid, means the measurement have to be valid, as well as A stands for accurate, B stands for bound, L stands for lead. Simultaneously, E stands for expertise. That means measurement need to be done by the expertise person. Next, after measurement, there comes evaluation. Evaluation is a technique by which we come to know at what extent the objectives are being achieved. For example, students, these class tests, these quarterly examinations, half-yearly or the annual examinations. Now, with the evaluation, that is when the teachers are correcting the answer sheets, they come to a conclusion that how far the understanding has gone through, how far the students have understood, and depending on the evaluation process only, there goes the modifications in the plan. Each student cannot understand in a single way. So there are means and modes to be followed to make the students understand. And that modification in planning can only take place after evaluation. Evaluation is a decision-making process which assists to make grade and ranking. So these grades, this ranking from top to bottom, it is coming into existence with the help of evaluation only. According to Barrow, it is a process of education that involves collection of data from the products which can be used for comparison. Next, nature of evaluation. It involves variety of tests and techniques of measurements. It emphasizes on the major objective of an educational program. It is based upon the data obtained from the test, as well as it is a decision-making process. So, evaluation is a decision-making process. So, with this, students, we have come to know about what is test, what is measurement, as well as what is evaluation. So, moving ahead to importance of test, measurement and evaluation. So you can see a number of importance I have mentioned in this slide. The first and foremost importance is for getting knowledge about progress. Here, for getting the knowledge about progress, that means progress about students, progress in the performance of sports persons. So that can be only assessed with the help of test and measurement. Test and measurement is the only source of getting the knowledge of progress. For example, if training is being given for a certain period of time, then each training followed by a test. Otherwise, how to understand that what is the progress, whether the training session is going to help the sports person or not? So that can only be concluded with the help of test. Similarly, in education, we conduct tests, we conduct examinations from time to time in some interval of time. So that gives the teachers an idea, that gives students an idea that if they have went for self-study, what is the outcome, what is the progress? Second one is for preparation of effective planning. Yes, students, test and measurement obviously helps in effective planning. Say for example, if I went for 4 hours of self-study and that 4 hours of self-study does not help me in achieving a desirable result, so what I will do? I will go for increasement in self-study. I will go for change in the pattern of studying. So this, how do I come to know? I will come to know from tests. I will come to know from various measurement process. Third one is for knowing the abilities and capacities. So test and measurement helps in knowing the abilities and capacities of each and every individual. And after knowing the ability and capacity of the individuals, various training programs are designed for different sports persons. Because students, every sports persons are physiologically different from each other. That is why different training sessions need to be designed for different sports persons. The fourth importance of test and measurement is for discovering the needs of participants. So test and measurement helps in discovering the needs of participants. So when we come to the conclusion about abilities and capacity, when we come to the knowledge that how much ability and capacity is within that individual, so we can impart certain skills, certain procedures to boost the need of participants, so that the need of each and every participants can be fulfilled. The fifth importance of test and measurement is for giving motivation. Yes, test and measurement obviously helps in giving motivation to the sports persons. It is a source of motivation. The students who are performing well, they will be motivated to continue the same pace. The students who are lagging behind, they will be motivated for better performance in future. The sixth importance of test and measurement is for classification of sports persons. Now yes students, how do we come to know that who is under which weight category. There are certain games and sports which are specifically fought, which are specifically competed under weight category, age category. How do we come to the conclusion? Certainly by measurement, weight measurement, like games like judo, karate, boxing, wrestling. These are all fought with weight classification under 40 to 45 kilogram weight category, under 50 to 55 kilogram weight category. So we come to know about the weight after undergoing measurement only, as well as the age classifications under 14, under 17, under 19, under 21, age classifications. Similarly, boys and girls will be classified. Girls cannot compete with boys. It will be totally unfair. That is why both the genders need to be classified. Boys will be competing with boys, girls will be competing with girls. So that is, test and measurement helps in classification of sports persons. Seventh importance of test and measurement is for knowing the achievement in future. So test and measurement helps in knowing the achievement of an individual in future also. It happens, students, that those students who are regularly performing good, we assume that after a certain period of time they will be reaching to a certain desirable height in future. So how do we come to know? Their present performance speaks. Their present performance helps us to analyze that in future this child will be at that level. So that is what test and measurement helps in knowing the achievement in future. Finally, the eighth importance of test and measurement is for research and experimentations. Yes, students. Several research work, several experiments, they also require several measurement. They also undergo several tests and measurements. Then at last, the researchers come to some conclusion. Likewise, in several subjects, in several areas, lot of research work used to undergo, and they undergo several tests. Several series of measurements are being conducted. So, under research work and experiments, test and measurement have their role. So, what are all the importance we have discussed so far, students? We have discussed that test and measurement helps in getting knowledge about the progress of the child. Test and measurement helps in the preparation of effective planning. Test and measurement helps in knowing the abilities and capacities of the individuals. Test and measurement helps in discovering the needs of the participants. Test and measurement also helps in giving motivation to the children. Test and measurement also helps in classifications of sports persons. Test and measurement helps in knowing the achievement in future, as well as test and measurement helps during research work and experiments. So these are all several importance of test and measurement. Moving ahead, students, next is we are going to enrich our knowledge about body mass index. In short, we call it BMI. So, this BMI or body mass index is also known as Quetelet index. It is statistical measurement to compare an individual's weight and height, because in BMI the height and weight of an individual is analyzed. This is the most widely used tool to identify weight problem. BMI is easy to measure and evaluate. It helps to know an individual's health status also, students. Next, this is the formula. How to calculate body mass index? The formula is body weight upon height squared, where body weight will be calculated in kilograms and height will be measured in meter. As you can see, students, body weight upon height into height. So height into meter square. This is the table that is being given by the World Health Organization. There are several categories like underweight, normal, overweight, obesity, class 1, class 2 and class 3. These are the several classifications. These are being specifically given by the World Health Organization. Now, some of the precautions that we need to take care while taking the measurement for body mass index. Students, so we were discussing about various precautions that need to be taken care during the measurements for body mass index. So the first one is body weight should be taken on a reliable weighing machine. So the weighing machine where we are measuring our weight, it has to be a reliable one. Heavy clothes should not be worn while taking or while measuring the weight. For measuring height, person should be barefooted and body in straight position. Barefooted means he or she should not wear any shoes or any slipper. Moving ahead is waist-hip ratio. Okay, now we will come to know how to calculate waist-hip ratio. So here, the circumference of waist region and the circumference of hip region is being measured and that is being put in the formula. The formula is waist circumference upon hips circumference. So, measurement of waist circumference divided by hips circumference. It is used as a risk factor assessment tool for heart disease, hypertension and type 2 diabetes. So this is the chart, students, the waist-hip ratio norms. So yes, students, so with this we come to the conclusion of the first part. So in this first part, first of all we have discussed about the meaning of test, measurement and evaluation. Followed by that, we have discussed about several importance of test, measurement and evaluation in games and sports. Followed by that, we have discussed how to calculate the body mass index and waist-hip ratio. So with this, we come to the conclusion of part 1 of chapter 7, that is test, measurement and evaluation in sports. I hope students, this video is certainly going to help you all in enriching your knowledge and will certainly help your doubts and queries. Still, if you have any doubt, you can personally approach me. I will be feeling very happy to clear your doubts. Take care of yourself, student. We will again meet with part 2, the part 2 video of chapter 7. Thank you all of you.